So I'm Frank Duran, and I'm standing across from Josh Dahl, the author and artist of Rapid City. And so I just got to ask, what's Rapid City?
Rapid City is a story about becoming a superhero. Uh-huh. It's a story about doing the thing you want to do. The guy in the story, Kinetic, wants to be a superhero. He has the powers, costume, seemingly all the trappings of being a hero, but he's not a hero yet.
Not yet.
And there's no way to do it. You don't get a license, you don't take a class, you don't have a ceremony, you just suddenly do it. Yeah. And I mean, not to make it about you, but having a microphone doesn't make you a podcaster. Yeah. Having a website doesn't make you a podcaster. Having the idea of all of those things are part of it, but none of those are the whole thing. So what is the whole thing? And that's what you learn in the first 4 issues, Objects at Rest.
Cool. Now, what makes it different than any other origin story?
Because it's almost not an origin story at all.
Okay.
I don't bother with how he got his powers. I don't bother with why it is in his heart he wants to do it. He just, like with you, just knew you wanted to do a podcast. Yeah. You heard that idea and thought, this is it. When I write a comic, I feel really good doing it. That's what it is. He just knows this is the thing I want to do.
That's very cool.
And so it's that whole motivation. You don't see him learning the lesson of power and responsibility. It's kind of, not to disrespect that, it's sort of taken as a given in this world.
Yeah.
And so what makes it different, to answer your original question, is that it focuses on that little moment of, it focuses on what happens if you don't have a killed Uncle Ben or murdered parents. What do you
do to become a hero?
Right.
Now, can you tell us a little bit about Kinetic? Like, what's his superpowers? What's he like?
He has kinetic powers. He can, and I actually figured this out after I started writing like issue 2. Yeah. I was writing him doing stuff like, I gotta nail this down. He basically, if he creates kinetic energy, if he moves, he can then amplify his own kinetic energy into shields, and like if he starts to do a leap, he can amplify that leap into a bigger move.
That's cool. Very cool superpower set. Now, is there a nemesis or villain to Kinetic, or what's kind of the story? Is it more down to earth, or is it supervillains?
For him, there is no nemesis yet. That would ruin the whole thing. If he had a villain to fight, that would confirm you, sir, are a superhero. Yeah. What he's dealing with is the anxiety of not having a villain to fight, not having a bank robbery to stop. What then? The villain of the piece, though, is this gentleman here, Maxwell Murder, named after a song from the band Rancid, Maxwell Murder.
There you go.
He has, he's been inked with demonic ink, and his tattoos turn into what they are. So the bullets on the back of his hand, he can fire them from his fingers like a gun.
That's cool.
He's, not to blow my own horn, he's a great villain.
That's cool.
He kind of just wants to be left alone, but he runs out of money and so has to go back to being an assassin. And does an okay job at it.
Now, what influences Rapid City? Is there anything that influences it?
Largely punk rock.
Yeah?
Not exclusively, largely Rancid.
Would you call this a punk rock comic, or?
I would certainly call it that. Yeah. Though it's not like there's a bunch of in-jokes or anything like that. If you're not punk rock, you would never know. But if you are sly enough to catch the references, it's all throughout.
Awesome.
What else influences it? My life. The story of Kinetic is based on my story of creating Rapid City. So the obstacles and distractions and things I faced were recreated with him.
Yes. Now, how do you publish Rapid City? How's it done? Do you self-publish?
I self-publish.
And how's that done?
Very, very difficult. I pay the artist, I get the pages. I send the pages to my designer, and lays them out. We work out a cover, I send the cover to a colorist. Colors it, goes back to the designer. The pages go to the letterer. No. The art pages come back to me. I re-script all of them to fit with what he's drawn. Then I send those to the letterer, get them back from the letterer, send them to the designer. Designer lays them out, fills in the extra pages with pinups, back matter, front matter, whatever. Yeah. All that goes in the PDF to the printer. Usually about a week later, comes back from the printer in a box of books to my house, and I sell those in person. I try to get them in the stores. I have not done distribution yet.
Okay. You put them in like local Boston comic shops?
Any shop I can get to.
Okay.
Had at one point Rapid City Comics.
Cool. Is it more of a digital comic? Do you put it online, or do you strictly want to do print?
I don't know enough about doing digital to do digital.
Oh, okay.
If somebody did digital for me, or if there was a tool to do it really easily, I would love to do digital. I have nothing against it. I love paper more.
Yeah.
I know how to do paper, so that's what I'm going to do. There's a few formats out there now where it is digital, and I'm not super happy with any of them. They're good enough,
okay,
but they're not representative of what I want to be out there.
Okay, very cool. Now, where are you taking Rapid City? Are we going to see him become a hero, or is it kind of like, well, that's the whole journey?
He becomes a hero at the end of issue 4. Oh, okay. Spoiled it. Oh. We can edit that out, right?
Yeah.
Okay. After that, there's a 4-issue story arc where he does come up against Maxwell Murder, and actually, for the next... I wrote the scripts way in advance as a script writing project. I made myself write a script every month.
Oh, wow.
Issue 24 sees Kinetic's superhero career come to a kind of conclusion. I'm not going to say if it's good or bad, but that's sort of his story. He finds what he was looking for.
Okay. Does that mean it's an end of Rapid City? Do you have a predicted end already?
No.
Okay, good.
Because after that, the thing that made him reach his decision of where he's going to go from there was a big villain calamity. And from that issue on, I spent 12 issues following the villains.
Oh, wow.
And that gets... So that's what I'm actually working on right now. My artist, Cav, who did these, is right now not able to commit to doing the next 4-issue story arc. So I'm jumping ahead in time to issue 25.
Okay. Calling
that issue 1 of Rapid City Below Zero. Starting out with a new artist. And that's going to be this villainous journey into dark territory. I'm rereading the scripts now because I'm sending them to the new artist.
Yeah.
And there's nothing fun in those scripts. There's no niceness. It's
dark, grim villains.
My day job, I work as a teacher with criminals.
Oh.
And
based
so
on that?
I know them very well. I know what makes them tick. I know that they're not all super geniuses. I know that a lot of them do crime because they can't figure out how to keep a day job.
Okay.
And a lot of them are really smart. That's the scary thing. So my villains are written very personally. None of them are cacklingly evil.
They're people?
I have one kind of psycho. But they're actual people. Yeah. It's funny, I took a step back and kind of lined them all up as a whole. All of them, I changed it after I saw this, but at one point all of them were emotionally damaged children who grew up into violent adults. And I was like looking at the kids I work with, and I'm like, I wonder where that trajectory came from.
Understandable. Now, so then I gotta ask, is Rapid City world of superheroes or more supervillains? Is Kinetic the only superhero?
It's 50-50.
Yeah.
But it's like, if you work in a restaurant, you're going to meet a lot of waiters and a lot of cooks and a lot of busboys.
Yeah.
If you hang out with superheroes, you're going to meet a lot of superheroes. If you hang out with supervillains, you're going to meet a lot of supervillains.
Yeah.
So the supervillain story has only 3 issues where heroes show up, 4 issues where heroes show up, and likewise. The hero stories focus mainly on the heroes, with villains coming in once in a while.
Okay. Very cool. So you're so far ahead. Like I think that's pretty great. Like
I for other reasons I had to kind of slow down on the scripts, but I've written through issue 39.
Wow.
Script a month, every month.
That's awesome.
I missed 2 for various other reasons. So in 41 months, I wrote 39 scripts.
Wow. So do you know what the normal when Rapid City will come out? Is there a schedule? Or
I just started working with the artist Sean Langley on the Rapid City Below Zero series.
Okay.
He seems to be producing really fast. but I don't really have a solid working relationship with him yet. I don't know exactly how long he'll take on revisions, all these other things.
Yeah.
So it's possible it could be approximately monthly.
Cool. So where can we pick up Rapid City? Where, if you're interested, where can you get it?
You can get it at www.rapidcitycomic.com or facebook.com/rapidcitycomic.
Cool. And any other plugs you would like to give before we end the interview?
Check out the Kickstarter for the book Earth Ruler. That's Sean Langley's book he's working on right now. It'd be really great if you had a big success on that. I came into Rapid City real strong.
Nice. Very cool. Well, thank you so much, Ron.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the interview.